Is it recording? There we go. Okay. Hi, family. This is a video that I feel like I need to make more so for myself so that I can face some very honest truths about myself. So I feel like I am failing at life. I really do. I feel like I'm failing. And the reason I say that is because I haven't been able to, like, there are a lot of things that I know that I should do. You know, a lot of things that I know that I can do, a lot of talents that I have, a lot of work that I have acknowledged that I need to do, you know, and I can come up with the plans, you know, I can come up with the foundations, like I can come up with the structures and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to actually taking executive action and actually doing those works, taking action, that's where it seems that I face an incredible degree of inner resistance. Like I just can't seem to actualize. I can't seem to activate any of that. It's just everything remains in potential status, right? In planned status. And this is like, lately I've been reading a lot of things about how spiritually we may sometimes find ourselves in a holding place, you know, in a void where we are still waiting, right? We're being held back from moving forward. But for me, this has been a state that I've been in since what, 2011, maybe 2011 to 2013 was when it first started. I was like, okay, why? Like something is changing within me. Um, and it's now 2017, halfway through 2017, just about, and I'm still dealing with these same issues of not feeling like I can accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, and it's really disheartening. It's really having a negative effect on other areas of my life. It's having a negative effect on me financially. It's having a negative effect on me emotionally. It's having a negative effect on me creatively and artistically. It's having a negative effect on my relationships with people because I feel like it's just having a negative effect on my life, and I'm not really sure what to do about it. And it's like I have, you know, we just had this Scorpio full moon, which for me, Scorpio is all about power and transformation. It's all about alchemy, right? It's all about rebirth, you know, and the very stark truths that we have to face and deal with about ourselves, you know, or about our reality before we can tap into that rebirth. And so for me, you know, during that, I did a little full moon ritual because it was also in the, I think it's Vishaka Nakshatra, and that's a lunar mansion, and the power of that lunar mansion, which the full moon was in that lunar mansion at the time, was the power of purpose. So, right, really giving, I'm sorry for the shakiness, really giving you that extra oomph that you need to kind of, that spark that you need, that push that you need to be able to zone in, focus, and accomplish what it is that you've set out to accomplish. And so I did a little, you know, ritual, a little ritual meditation. I invoked the names, the powers of Oya and Pluto. Pluto as the ruler of Scorpio, um, at least in modern astrology. In traditional astrology, Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. But I also have Pluto in my second house, and it's retrograde in my second house, which is added an added layer of difficulty or an added layer of work that must be done with that Pluto placement. But it's in my second house, which is all about, you know, values, earnings, possessions, income, all that kind of stuff. And so that is an area of my life. I've already done some divinations where I know that is an area of my life where right now a lot of shadow energy is at work, right, in my second house, the area that is covered by my second house. And so I have Pluto retrograde there. So I know that Pluto is a planet and is an entity, is a power that I have to work with in order to affect this transformation. And Oya, I bring her up because I had a divination done by a Yoruba priestess back in March of 2016. And Oya was the Odisha that came through during that reading and had a message for me. Her energy was very strong and dominant in that reading, which I anticipated before the reading even began, before without even speaking to the priestess about, you know, because I had thought about, I knew about these kind of divinations in that on occasion one of the Orishas would show up with a message or would show up and be present during the reading. And I thought, who might show up for me? And I thought about Oya, who I have always had an affinity for, because she reminds me so much of Storm, the X-Man, who I am like a diehard Storm fan. And so Oya, as you know, the Orisha of the wind, of tempests, of storms, of change, of transformation, of the marketplace, of cemeteries, of sorcery, like she resonates with me on many levels. And so this is interesting that I'll talk about this. This ties into my original thesis that I feel like I'm failing, like, and I feel like I need to really have a very transformative experience, and I feel like I am having a transformative experience, which I can talk about and possibly will in another video, because something very life-changing happened to me over the summer. Um, but so to get back to that reading, when the reading began, the priestess was a little late, so it was over Skype. It was a Skype reading, and it was Chief Louisa Tish. If you're interested, I can put her information below. It was a fantastic reading. Um, so before the reading even began, like I was there on time, but she hadn't shown up yet, so I tried to Skype her. And then when she finally did come onto Skype, it was like a few minutes delay. She told me that one of her fellow priestesses was in the driveway because she had gone to get groceries for her, and she had brought them back. And I was like, oh, okay, like it's fine, it's not a big deal. And so we started the reading, and then Oya showed up, and she had her message for me. And after the reading, Yeye Tish told me that actually the priestess that was in the driveway was a priestess of Oya. I mean, yeah, it was a priestess of Oya. And so it's just like, okay, so here I am before the reading. I'm anticipating this Oya energy, right? Because I can already feel. I had felt way before the reading that, I needed to make some drastic change in my life, right? And so I kind of intuited that Oya might show up. And then even before the reading begins, Oya is sitting in the driveway, right? She's sitting in the driveway with something to deliver. And then the reading begins, and Oya shows up with the message that is on point for me. And then not so long after that, I made a decision that changed my life. And then I made a decision that intentionally changed my life. I intentionally did something with the intention of changing my life, if that makes any sense. And then maybe a month after that, I did something that I did not intend to change my life, but it drastically and significantly changed my life. So I went through two major transformations over the summer. One that is a more significant life-changing, um, life-changing event. And so I feel like I have already been initiated into this very transformative state, right? So I'm already in a sea of transformation since summer of 2016, and so many things in my life, the foundation seem to be crumbling all around me, right? And it's like I'm struggling to build a new self off of these crumbling strongholds, these things that were holding me, these preconceptions about who I was, about what I wanted, about what I had, what I possessed, all these things have now been called into question. And so, in addition to all of that transformative energy that's already been working in my life, I am in my Saturn return. It has just started. My natal Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius in my fourth house, right? So if you don't know anything about me, then let this be. If it's not obvious from this video, I am deeply into astrology. And so I'm already like, I know that the Saturn return is a 2 to 2.5 year period of normally trials and tribulations, where Saturn comes to test you on certain themes based on a certain area of your life, depending on, you have to look at where Saturn is in your natal chart. What sign is it in, and then what house is it in? So for me, it's in the sign of Sagittarius, but it's in my fourth house. So Saturn in the fourth house is really all about our inner foundations, right? Any kind of like inner structure that we have, inner discipline, like everything is very internal. And then being retrograde, that energy is even more deeply internal. So it's not so much about me creating like a strong foundation externally, right? It's not about me creating structures to support me externally. It's all about doing a lot of internal work. That's what Saturn is demanding, a lot of internal work. But that internal work is also Sagittarian work. So it's all about ideals. It's all about philosophy. It's all about faith. It's all about like higher aspirations, right? It's all about self-discovery and all that kind of stuff that is represented by Sagittarius, the archer and philosopher and teacher and sage and guide and all that kind of stuff. Um, so I feel like I am in a moment of great change, but I keep feeling like I'm not living up to the work that needs. I don't even know how to articulate it, but I just feel like I'm floundering. I feel like I'm floundering, and I don't know which way to go. Like even in invoking like the energy of Oya and Pluto and saying, look, I am in this place of transformation. You two are entities that specifically deal with transformation. Like you are the gods of change. If there are any gods of change, you are those gods, you know, and I need help. I need help. And I'm even calling on my ancestors because that's part of my practice. And I'm just like, ancestors, please guide me, help me to see, help me to do, help me to understand, help me, you know. And it's just like, I don't feel like help is coming. But then again, I know that a lot of it is internal, right? So it's a lot of it's about me helping myself, right? That's anyways, I'm just making this video. I'm not defeated. I'm not like in a place of despair or anything, even though I have been in that place before. So right now I'm not in a place of despair. I'm just deeply perplexed and feel very blocked and feel like I am my own resistance and I don't know how to overcome myself. So I just thought I would share that little thought with you. If you have any wisdom that you can share with me, any guidance that you would like to share with me, feel free to do so. If you want to make a video response to this, where that's easier for you to articulate, you know, whatever remedies and practices and rituals and meditations and actions have worked for you, then feel free to share that with me because I need something. I need something. All right. Take care.